Hello everyone and welcome to Driven Mad.
Oh, we cut that bit out.
What bit? Are you looking like a creep? Yeah. Beginning this video, we've got sort of a 2008 Mercedes, very common issue, isn't it?
Yep.
The plastics on the inside are not the greatest. And
they're notorious.
Notorious. And they don't hold up well to life. And these ones are sticky. And we've lost a lot of the buttons. You can see that they're very worn down and it's a really common problem, and it actually looks like someone's had a little go on this side. But today we're going to change that, and to do that we've disconnected the battery. Now we've played it safe and we've left it a whole day.
Yeah,
but I do recommend probably about 2 hours disconnecting it minimum, just to make sure that there's absolutely no current going through. Now we're going to try and do this without unplugging the airbag. We can take it out, but I'm going to try and get our trusty assistant here to get a bit of an arm workout on and hold the airbag. So what we need for this job is, ours has these sort of mimicky flappy paddles at the back, so that gives us one extra bolt compared to other models. Now we need a T20, T25 and a Phillips head screwdriver is what I believe we need. If we run across anything else I will tell you obviously, but let's begin with a T25, and that's going to be in the back here for the airbag. So we'll get the camera in and show you that. Okay, so with our T25 bit, you can see on the left and right side of the steering wheel there's a little hole there, which you can see on the camera, and you need to just get that in there. Now just make sure that's off. There we go. They haven't been undone before. And then we'll crank off the other side as well, which is identical this side. There we go. So I'll get this side out first. Now I don't believe the screws actually come out, they may do. So I don't think it's going to fall. But if you would mind getting ready to, just in case he wants to drop. Right, now those two are loose. You can see we've got a bit of access down here. So let's get the camera in. Okay, so inside, to remove the flappy paddles, you can see, if I zoom in there, see through there, there's a tiny little hole between those wires, cables, to get at. Now, this looks really small, so I think Merck have just been irritating and changed the size of these torque screws on each one. So I should be able to get through there. Yep, that's even smaller. Let's go for a T10. I think it's going to be tiny. Okay, T10's your size. So what we're going to do is just undo that. Sorry, my hand may or may not be in the way. It definitely is. It's a T10. Just, oh, helpful I hadn't dropped it, thank you. And that should be able...
Power's on, I'd move the seat forward.
Yeah, that should be able to come out there, buddy boy. Right, now behind the steering wheel you can see we've just, the flappy paddles come out, and there's a T20 in there.
All the way?
Yep. All the way out. Nice, and that's the release for the buttons. Okay, so you can see we got these two plugs. Now this is undone, the actual buttons are undone, so this can just pull out. So what we need to do is push these clips in, and they just come out with it. You can see there, like that. And then we should be off. So actually, it turns out that little one, look, that's for the flappy paddle, so that doesn't need to come out. There we are, that can stay. So now it's time to transfer the buttons. Right, so here is our new button compared to our old buttons. Now this side actually, they're not too bad. You can see there's a little bit of like booger juice or something on there.
It'll go sticky, it's but weird plastic, isn't it?
This here is like glue along the side there, so they need a change, but as you can see we need to change the carcass as such out of this one. So what we're going to do is undo these tiny little torques here. Now I believe they're actually even smaller than a T10, so I'm going to have to go into my toolkit and try and find something smaller. Right then, I'll hold that up to the camera. You can see here, a while ago I bought an iPhone repair kit, and you can see the size of these tiny little bits, and it's actually a T7 this is, so it's absolutely tiny. Our sort of mechanical toolkits don't come with anything small enough, so if you're doing this, get a T7, which is minuscule, so especially order one, or if you've got an iPhone kit laying about like I did, that'll come in handy. Well, yes, I think I got that for a tenner, so not bad at all.
This is horribly sticky.
It is.
It doesn't really show quite how grim it is, does it?
No. Let's just hope. Oh, there we are. Number 1. Oh, hello. Number 2.
How come you got my watch on?
Got to test these things out. And there's number 3. We can just hope it hasn't glued itself to it. So we've decided that we can't get that out, so we're going to snip each one.
Because it looks like it's an arrowhead, isn't it? So it doesn't really have any movement. It's a once only.
A clip in and that's it. God, this is so sticky, it's just horrible.
And the car's immaculate, so I don't think it's something that anyone's done.
No, and if you look up on YouTube and things like that, there's people trying to treat these with Coca-Cola and stuff.
Because they all do it.
Yeah, we've just opted for the new buttons because hopefully they've made them out of a slightly better plastic now.
Feel better.
They do. My hands are so sticky. That's like I've eaten sweets. There we are, you can see, we're out.
Oh, well done.
Right, so we've got to keep the board that way because it's going to come out. But we're out and we're intact. It's just, you can see these little pieces we snipped. God, that is so sticky, it's vile. If we do it that way, if we flip it up, just because this boardlet you can see is separate to the piece of plastic. So we'll push that like so.
It's a one-hit wonder, isn't it?
That's it. And then hopefully,
if it doesn't, we're in the shit. Boom.
There we go. Just push that little devil in there like so. Cover your new buttons in sticky stuff. So I'm just going to wash my hands and I'll be back.
Yeah, me too.
Right, so the last thing is just to waz the 3 screws back in with our tiny little T7 screwdriver bit. Right, there we are. We're ready to get that set back in. I pull that back.
Do you want me to hold?
No, hang on, should be fine. Make sure these wires aren't in the way.
Yeah,
now
hold that while you do that.
Thank you. So what we'll do, you can see the buttons just line up, and as they go in, I'm just going to guide the plug into position as well. You can see there.
You say when?
Then the buttons should just push in nicely like that, and then clip in the plug again, and we'll get that T20 back in the back. Yeah, have you got the screw in there?
I do,
yeah,
surprisingly.
Okay. Right, now it's time to get this tiny T10 back in. I'm going to put it in there by hand. Right, there we are. Flappy pedals back in as well. Okay. Nice.
They work well as flappies as well.
They do, yeah.
They might not look great, but they work well.
They do. So now we're going to repeat the exact same process on this side, and we'll just speed it up, I think. That'll do. Nice. And we're back in. Well, get your little butt in the driver's seat, buddy.
Get something on there straight away.
Yeah. Right, so that's the job done. That actually went really well.
So hopefully you can, whether you can quite see the difference there, but this is covered in something, and it's not, the car came immaculate, isn't it? So this is very odd what it's sort of just decomposing and worn off, and this is a very low mileage car. So
it is.
You can imagine I am super chuffed with that.
They look really, really good.
That was brand spanky new.
Yes.
Very happy with that. They work perfectly. Did a good job there, you did.
Thank you very much, but I'm glad you like your buttons.
Oh, I do. Simple things, please, simple people.
Yes, so hopefully that helped you in some sort of way, and stay tuned for more B-Class and all sorts of videos.
See you later.
Thanks for watching.
I'm going for a drive.
One day I'll change all of my wicked ways, and happiness will start to make sense. Happiness will start to make